Okay, well this is we're beginning our regular pickets for the fall for ECAWAR, and of course this is at a particularly important time because the Harper government is embroiling Canada in a new war in Iraq and Syria. If you hear the statements that they're making, where they, basically say civilization depends on this, you know that it's not a matter of 69 advisors, but the beginning of a full-scale war, and that's what is emerging from the U.S. as well. Of course, we know that Canadians were very, very vocal, and a majority of Canadians opposed any Canadian participation in the U.S. And British and their allies' war of aggression in Iraq in 2003. And the Iraqi people have endured almost 25 years of sanctions, bombing, invasion, war, aggression, shock and awe. The estimates are that as many as 3 million Iraqis may have died, and no rational person can think that more of the same is going to bring any different results. It's not going to bring peace and security. It's not going to eliminate the threat of terror. In fact, if we look at who these ISIS or ISIL are, they've been overtly or covertly supported, funded, and even created by the U.S. and its allies. Funded by Turkey, Saudi Arabia, France, Britain, and others. In Syria, they've been called the freedom fighters, the opposition forces, even the forces of democracy, and have received all kinds of covert and overt support. And so now to suggest that the U.S. and its allies who have created this terrible, terrible genocidal war against the Iraqi people are going to be their saviors. I mean, it's just beyond imagining. And it's a very serious situation right now because, Canadians really opposed the last war, and they resisted all the pressure that they should accept the idea that Saddam Hussein had these weapons of mass destruction and there was no choice in all this. And now a phony consensus is being created. They're trying to create a phony consensus in Canada where it's suggested that everyone agrees, and it's getting the tacit agreement of the opposition parties as well. So it's a very, very important time for everyone to stand up and take action.
Stuck that way. Kind of nasty.
We need those banners about the new war.
Okay, we are having an emergency picket today, and we're going to be leafleting and talking to people down Whyte Avenue because tomorrow in the Parliament, Harper is introducing a motion asking for Parliament's support, which of course, since they have a majority, they will be able to ram this through the Parliament to support Canada sending fighter planes, reconnaissance planes to bomb Iraq. And that's going to happen tomorrow. So people in cities across Canada are demonstrating this weekend to express our opposition and to say that Canadians say no to a new war in Iraq and Syria, and to call on people to fight and work for an anti-war government. Everyone's saying that the election campaign has begun, and so it's up to us and all Canadians. We're calling on everyone to use this period to really go all out to make sure we defeat Harper, but not just to put in the same, but to establish that Canadians want an anti-war government that's going to act as a force for peace.
Kill people, you get no.
I'm here today to support that there be no bombing and nothing take place in Iraq. I think it's important that we as Canadians and Indigenous people come together. And again, the Government of Canada is not consulting with the Indigenous nations of the land as to whether or not we should be going to war in any other lands. The reality is this country was built and supported with the peace pipe ceremony that took place many years ago, and it was built in a peaceful manner, and we are still supporting that we walk in a peaceful way. As Indigenous people of this land, we do have a say legislatively and legally into what goes on in other lands that represent anything that comes from this land, and we do not support any type of war actions, and we tell Harper to forget it, to stop the nonsense, and to sit back and think about he's serving people. He's serving not only the non-Indigenous people who are called Canadians, but he's also representing Indigenous people of this land, and we are not a people who are going to go to war against anyone.
You got it.
No war! No war! Come on, chant, people! No war!
No more war! No more war! Well, my name is Doug Magnuson, and I'm back in town after a 3-month absence, and I'm proud to be standing up with ECAWAR, Edmonton Coalition Against War and Racism, to do our best to try and stop a new illegal war in the Middle East, this time Harper raining bombs on northern Iraq and possibly Syria if he can get away with it. We say no, no to war, no to dropping bombs on innocent people. You don't solve problems by dropping bombs.
Today we're having a march on climate change, for action on climate change, and for me it's about utilizing the best green inventions that are available today, which we are not doing. We're not investing in technology. I am of the belief that 50% of our investments in oil field subsidies should be invested in green technology, and if it was, I don't think we'd have a climate change issue at all. I believe we have the technology available today with low energy nuclear reactions to start replacing fossil fuels within 2 years. I think the money wasted on these pipelines is absolutely sickening.
And what do you hope will come out of this event?
Hopefully public awareness about not just climate change as an issue, because everybody knows climate change is an issue, but about the technologies that are out there that can help mitigate climate change that we're not using today.
Repeat after me. We are not going to take it anymore. 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 Say it like you mean it. Put your right fist up. We are not going to take it anymore. Corporations, stop the destruction. Corporations, stop the destruction. No pipelines. No pipelines. No greed. No greed. You can't eat money. You can't eat money. You can't drink money. You can't drink money. We want to be loved. We want to be loved. We want our children to be loved. And love means I take care of what is needed. Love means I take care of what is needed.
It's quite a joke.
Something climate change. I guess actually what exactly to say and to ask. No, it's very big.
Well, and there's this thing about in a group.
I better wait for my leader.
But would it just be like?
Did you get one of these? Solutions? Okay.
Living all around the world. Yeah, the ninja. Yeah, living all around the world now. This time around, no matter how you feel, the ninja is for real. Yeah, the ninja loves the joy of living. Yeah, the ninja loves the joy of living. This time around, Now if you are a zombie now, let's be careful what you do. Yeah, if you belong to the zombie clan, better be careful what you do. The ninja's got your number, and he just won't let you through. Hey, the ninja, your love's the way you love. Hey, the ninja, she loves to love the way you love. This time around, no matter how you feel, the love it is for me. Hey, the ninja, living all around the world now. Hey, the ninja, living all around the world now. Time around, no matter how you feel, the ninja is for you. Oh, oh, oh.